everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I hope you guys are all having a great, restful weekend. I want to thank you for all your beautiful comments and your turn of phrases and helping me know the difference between a drive-by and a booty call, and the hilarious one that if the drive-by is when you change your mind about the booty call. My husband was laughing so hard at his computer. I'm like, isn't it funny how sometimes we just draw an absolute blank when we try so hard to like remember an actor or somebody? It's so funny. So anyway, today's going to be fun, and I wanted to do a 5 pick a card spread on what does November hold for me? What's coming for me in November? A lot of people have high anticipations. I know especially in the United States this time of year, it's a lot of family get-togethers and things like that, big groups, lots of celebrations, time off work, time off school, things like that. So it gets very your social calendars get really full, so you guys can expect some fun things. Also, right before I start, I want to thank Tracy very, very much. She's one of my cool viewers, and she had wrote me an email the other day that was very, very touching. She's going through a lot, yet she goes out of her way to create some beautiful jewelry and send it to me. Look at this ring right here. She wire wrapped this after looking at some of Eleni's flower out of her butt art, and there's a secondary one too, but no lie, my daughter stole it, Tracy. Like, it's in her room somewhere, so I'll promise to find it. But it's so beautiful and it's so unique. And then she sent some stones as well. And thank you guys, and all you viewers that say and do these fantastic things, and Madison for sending me those beautiful cards that, again, Indy, they're in her room now. She's a budding tarot reader, and so I let her borrow things. So thank you guys for your generosity. I really, really appreciate it. And it's my birthday month. My birthday is November 29th. So I have anticipation, excitement for that. I don't know why, but I'm such a birthday person for other people. But like November, I get all excited. I remember ever since I was a little kid, I love Thanksgiving. I love birthdays. And like I already planned. And each year I try to go into New York and go to a big museum. And some crap always goes down where I don't get there. I think the last time I went was when India was a baby on my birthday. It was so much fun, and that vivid memory. I think if I just had a day to myself, and I can create that because time is what it is, right? There's no reason I can't just hop on a train and go to a museum. And I'm definitely doing that. I think this November 29th, I'm going to either go to the Guggenheim, the Met, some of those, maybe all of them. I'm going to jam them in. So again, what is coming for me in November? So number 1 is going to be Jaguar. Number 2 is going to be Beloved. Number 3 is going to be the Rainmaker. I'm just holding them like this because when I hold them up and other things go out of focus, I know it gets a little strange. Number 4 is going to be the Wind. So I like these because I feel like you get a visual choice as well as a verbal prompt as well. And then number 5 is going to be the Journey. And the artwork in this is so beautiful. My favorite colors together are like soft ocean blues, grays, browns, all earth and sky, right? Earth, sea, and sky combined, and air. All the elements that just swish together, right? They're magic. Oh, I love them, love them, love them. Okay, so we're going to begin with Jaguar. So I've already shuffled these. We're going to start with your fairy card. The 5 of Winter. Walk away from dishonest associations, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that isn't worth the effort. What I feel like is occurring right now for some of you guys, and I feel this strongly, and I know this from a lot of my viewers saying this as well, they're involved with people, places, or things, a lot of them jobs, a lot of them social connections, friends, whomever, that are they're very self-absorbed, and they're completely into what they want to do when they want to do it. In fact, I feel like a lot of you are like, you feel suffocated by them. They have to take over the room. Even if you start to initiate something, they then have to chime in. It's one of those things where people are so egomaniacal, they take the oxygen out of this scenario. You know what I mean? You're trying to have a light time, and as soon as you envision, oh my God, if Bob or this person's going to be there, you're like, you all of a sudden see them being so extra, like you're picturing that. So try to avoid those people so you can have, you know, all the breadth and width of your individuality and your choices. And isn't it nice when you have like a harmonious group of people and they all get on, they're all about listening to one another, having peace and quiet, and everybody that shared time, right? That's what you need. And I'm feeling very strongly that there's some scenarios in work too where you're doing the lion's share and it's just getting overlooked and you're like, what is going on? I feel like, yeah, there's some gossipy, lowbrow stuff going on and you're tired of it because it does take your energy and it is a big energy suck. So what I want you to do too is start your journaling process so you can manifest some of this stuff, because the strongest thing that really propels your manifestation out there is envisioning what you feel like in the scenario right after it occurs, because that sets the energy in motion. Wow. Very nice. Yeah, because what happens is the 5-1. So yeah, there's some conflict I feel like at work, and I'm sorry about that, but it happens, doesn't it? When we start to picture what we want, say that person asking out us on a date. So we picture that, okay? So that sends that energy in motion and that echo out into the universe and starts to solidify what that would look like and piece it together. But even stronger is how you physically feel and what you see and what you do after that event takes place. So are you calling your girlfriends? What are you wearing? How excited are you? Are you what environment are you in? What are you feeling physically? All 5 senses, things like that. Because what happens, it starts to create that expectation for this event to happen, which has that energy flow out and have it become a true occurrence, because those energies are all channeled. They're not set in any due mold right now. So you're transfixing it in the direction and the format you want it to go, and it really galvanizes it into an effectual occurrence. Because whenever I listen to Jake Ducey and I do his 48-hour manifesting, I start writing stuff down, and as soon as I tried that viewpoint of it, of picturing what I would feel like, I was actually getting the emails within 10 minutes of that. And I even called my daughter and I was like, wow. So remember that too. So let's see what we have here for you guys. We have the Queen of Swords. Very nice. Oof. Queen of Swords. Yes. The Emperor and the 5 of Wands. Again, that 5 of Wands just keeps squawking in my ear. I'm going to have to address that first so I can get that out of the way. All I'm hearing is, let me just double peek and make sure that is the Emperor, not the Empress. Yeah. In terms of conflict at work, what I want you to do to be able to completely be able to thrive and not get engulfed in any of these little tragic one-upness is just step back and see how silly everybody looks when they engage in these conversations of tearing other people down and trying to make them feel less. How silly and crazy they sound. They actually start to sound like animals, like Bauerschwein, like they say in that show. They sound like oink, 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 oink. They don't even look like people anymore because the energy is so convoluted with just negative energy and all those things. So just step back and watch that. See their faces, how they get tight, rigid. People don't look like they normally look. It's a very sour energy. I feel like the second you stop any engagement in that and you walk away or you just stand back, you can completely see it for what it is. It's going to lift that energy, and all of a sudden you're going to feel like a door just opened, like to freedom for your creativity, for all that stuff, because you're like, this is stifling. This occurrence is stifling. No, thank you. This is what I want. I am the Emperor, and I am also the Queen. And how you're going to arrive at all this and what's coming for you in November now, once that you've cleared that energy, is recognition in business and also in your social life. Because what happens is you have more clarity on who you are, what your boundaries are, what you'll accept, who you'll let into your circle. I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of refining. You know what I mean? You're going to be getting rid of old clothes that don't work for you. I feel like I picture just a bunch of piles of old black shoes. I don't know why. Black high heels you don't need anymore. Black boots you don't need, but you just never want to throw out just in case. You're getting rid of all of that, and you're streamlining your clothes, how you look, you're simplifying, all those type of things. Beautiful. Also, I feel like in terms of your give and take of energy, that you're going to save some for yourself so you can have restful, blissful moments, as opposed to always being on the phone and always trying to feel like you have to contact. I feel like a lot of you are Facebookers and Instagrammers too that are like, oh, I should document this. People should know this is going on, this, that. You're going to pull back from that a little bit because you want to enjoy the experiences more than the documentation of the experiences. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of you are really going to get back to nature and your hobbies. I feel like walks are going to be just a godsend to you, and you're going to be reflective and peaceful, and answers are going to come to you. Hence, you're going to start manifesting those relationships, those love relationships, because there's a lot of soul connections in the periphery out there, and they're dying to come in. But what's happening is the frequency has to be raised, because you have all these little stragglers, and they're like psychic strands that you're tied a little bit to these garbage heaps of people, blah 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 blah, and you just have to clear them away. That's all I have to do. Cut those strings. Those aren't for me anymore. These relationships, these attitudes, they aren't for me anymore. And then all this fresh energy comes in, and your perspective, you're gonna be like, why didn't I notice the birds, the sound of the birds in the trees? Why didn't I notice the awesome laugh of a family member? Things like that. You're going to notice that, and it's going to elevate you. And then you're going to have relationships and offers coming in, and you're just going to appear more like a queen or an emperor. You're going to have your stature and your groundedness and your whole frequency is just going to, that you give out, and your hum and your vibration is very welcoming. It's going to work like a magnet towards people, and you're going to be very accepting and lovely about it too. You know what I mean? I feel like you're excited for this, and you're looking forward to it. So you're going to be enthusiastic about meeting people. Hence, they're going to be enthusiastic about being around you. So that's beautiful. That's your group. Beautiful Jaguar group. I love that. Again, get rid of all those people that you used to deal with that just bring you down. You know what I mean? Because it's very easy. Like, gossip is juicy. People want to get in and they want to know the tea, but guess what? It's not good. That brings in all kinds of hazards to our psyche. We'll get headaches from stuff like that. It's not good. You just want to breathe easy and be outside and be in nature and be pure and come from the four cornerstones of love, authenticity, integrity, and honesty. That's it. I did it like backwards, but who cares? Anyway, I swear, this house this morning has been like the Hunger Games, and I'm always going to win. Everybody wants to jockey for position, what they're going to do, and it's funny in the house too. They all, like my kids, they all want to be with me and have one-on-one time and talk. And wherever I go, if I'm out in the kitchen, then Hagen will come out, and then India will come out, and they want time. And I hate that feeling of them feeling like they have to compete and talk louder, so I'll listen. So it's like I try to cordon off one-on-one time, and it is very important because you see their face. They really want to share something with you, but only you. You know what I mean? So they can have singular focus. It's really sweet. So notice that as well. If you have a family member, somebody that they're looking at you and they want to speak, just say, hey, let's go outside. People love to be heard and have their dreams and hopes listened to, for sure. So take that time. So if that's you guys, very, very good. I'm very excited. Don't forget to press like and subscribe if you're new. Ding, 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 and the bell as well so you can get notifications. There's the little gray arrow, has all my links below for private reads, all my information's on the jewelry store, every single thing down there. So ding, ding away. So let's see what's going on with the beloved. I'm not even going to pretend I can see anymore without my glasses. It's like even when I hold them far away, it doesn't really work. Be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe in. Courageously stand up for yourself. Absolutely, because here's what happens when we swallow or choke down initiatives we want to start, feelings that are already evoked that we want to share, dreams that we want to begin. There'll always be the people that feel like they have to compete, family member or otherwise. Everybody has an agenda. We know this, right? People will be like, oh, this would be, you're doing a good job, but it'd be better this. It's their vision. It's their way. Well, guess what? It's your life. It's your vision. It's your way. Stand up for it. Lots of times I even have to do this with Ian in getting this production ready, because for him to get all the camera equipment and the for the lighting and everything to be just right for him, sometimes he forgets and he tramples on. He'll shove all my stuff in a corner. It'll be falling and spilling everywhere, and he's set up all beautifully, but meanwhile my stuff is all haphazard and all over the floor. And I say to him, you know, it's very upsetting to me, and you have to stand up for that and tell people, listen, we have to respect each other's time, our material goods, our information, everything. We have to be respectful. Set firm boundaries with people, because I feel like that you're a giver, this group, that you like to help people. You like to give them rides. You like to do things for them. You like to lend them money. You like to do things that help them. What happens is they then get entitled for it, and then you feel a little heartbroken and messed up because you're seeing it for what it is. It's now a sense of entitlement, and you owe them. So how you're going to change that again is those firm boundaries. With three of swords is definitely those knives in the heart. That's like, how can I give and give and give? And people don't. Then it becomes thankless too. So you have to remind people too. Hey, this does, especially if you can do things seamlessly and effortlessly. I've had days where I can literally. I've done the job of like 2 or 3 people at work when I used to work. And because you can make it seem like that, it seems like you're not having any output. But god damn, are you ever having to focus and multitask and everything. So every once in a while, you remind people that it's not I dream of Jeannie, you rub the bottle and everything gets done. The house gets cleaned, the shopping gets done, the food gets cooked, the car has gas, every single little thing, the pets get fed, they have clean litter, all those things. And it's not abracadabra, it's your effort. Let them know. We never want to be whiny, because guess what, the first time we do that, that reflects on the person then thinking they're inadequate or they're not doing any work, and they think it's accusatory, so they don't even care anymore. But simply they notice, and it'd be nice every once in a while if you got a thank you, you know what I mean? But we have to be careful how we approach that. We want people to notice and be thankful of it, but we also don't have to pull that out of them, you know what I mean? But there can be reminders, because the Nine of Wands, yeah, you're right on the precipice of a completion of something through all your hard work, and you're going to get recognition for this in November. I hear bonuses at work. I hear that you're leveling up, that you're going up to larger pay, higher positions, more recognition, more like more reverence is paid to you when you come in. People aren't just like, yo, Amy, yo, Kristen, can you do this, do that, that sort of thing. It's now, if you have time, would you like to? It's all in the phrases, how we can get people to respond to our wishes. It's 100% in the phrases. If they're graceful, understanding, and from their point of view, because we all know that we all have work. You ever have that person that's like, I'm busy, but blah, blah, blah. It's like, then you stop listening, right? You're like, that's nice. You're telling me exactly why you're so busy, but it's a careless way to behave, to first speak about yourself, to plow over people, right? And you're not going to receive that behavior anymore from others, because you also, I feel like a lot of you have what I call the look, the squelching look, where you're like, I did that to Chloe Savigny when she came into the store one day, and I just said to her, you look like Chloe Savigny. And she's laughing with all the men, being super charming, and then she sees me and she goes, and I go, you look like Chloe Savigny, and she goes, well, I am, so I don't know what to say about that. Like that, in a really squelching look, and I just up and down to her, I went, hello? And then I just walked away, because I realize that people can be self-important. I don't care if you're an actor. I don't care what you are. If you are not kind to people and you think you're above, smarter, better looking, more whatever, when you think you're more and they're less, you're not going to be received well. And I feel like now people aren't going to do that anymore to you, because you're just not going to put up with it. You have really good boundaries. And here's part of the reason now. You're going into a, I gotta just have a little more lemonade. My throat is so sore. You're retreating a little bit into a reflective, restful state in your life, because you're realizing when you go whole hog and you're continually going flat out, achieving. Remember how we discussed being fake busy, which is just in our mind, you're completing tasks. That's what fake busy is, just task after task after task, which is essentially while people are talking to you, you're answering emails, you're checking Facebook, you're multitasking, but your attention on the person that's speaking to you is diminished a great deal, because your focus is elsewhere. So that person feels insulted, and so your work is also less too. So you're not doing that. You're sitting back, you're realizing, wow, when I do one thing at a time and I do it well and I can breathe and relax and really focus, I feel better. I don't feel so conflicted and pulled, right? And that's what happens when we continually try to achieve. And again, it goes back to that lovely state where I decided to be just recently, which was not busy but effective, to do a few things and do them well, and then have some leisure time to kick back and relax. Again, it's hard when you have other people helping you, because when I have Ian doing all the filming thing and other people, they have their agendas and their time frames. But if I'm not ready in a natural, restful state with the messages and the communication, I don't ever want to try to force it, because then if the joy and the light isn't there, I know how I feel when certain readers come on and I can see them agitated, or I don't know why they go into production when they're in a crazed state, and like it'll be on their stomach, the camera will be on the stomach, the cards will be everywhere, there'll be animals, there'll be just everything, you know what I mean? It's a chaotic state. Our lives can be chaotic as it is. Like when I watch a program, when I watch a show, I want it to put me in a restful, communicative, receptive area, you know what I mean? That's why I try to be in the best place when I do my readings for you guys too. And that's what you're going to do with the Hermit. You're going to look inside and be like, okay, how can I start my manifestation, my spiritual connections, listen to my guides, all things like that. I want you, first of all, like I keep hearing this, Learn your intentions and goals daily and check in with your resistance of it. That's what you're trying to ask yourself. Where are these blocks? Because I do feel like some blocks are coming and you guys are questioning that. Like, if I'm writing it, if I'm envisioning what's happening, what happens is the crap gets catapulted back into your psyche, your old ways. Well, if I haven't accomplished this, when we wake up, it's almost like a rebirth every day, right? So sometimes we go right back into that record groove of behaving and thinking the same way. So all you have to do when you wake up is go, it's a new day, it's a new thought, it's a new pattern. It's a new day, it's a new thought, it's a new pattern. Say it over and over and over, and you'll start, your thoughts are your words. Your thoughts will become your truths, which will become your energy, which will become how you live your day. And that's what you're starting to focus on, because you have a lot of great things coming. You're going to be elevated at work. You're going to be able to speak and communicate a lot clearer too. I'm hearing that you don't feel like you're filtering everybody else's garbage and or words and things that are coming in, so your focus is just straight from brain out, which is lovely because you've had this time to really recognize what's important to you. And again, I see in your stillness right here, you're going to seek and find your intuitive guidance. You're going to know what you really want. You're not going to be chasing people, places, and things anymore. You know, you're not like, oh, well, I have time, I should go out shopping. You're going to use that as reflective time, things like that. November and December is very important to keep a hold of our balance, our wits, and our perspective. I used to be so grandiose in my Christmas gifts for people I work with, and I would try to make everybody their jewelry, that I'd be so burnt out I wouldn't know what was going on. And it wasn't about being people pleasing, it was really wanting to make the perfect thing for the perfect person, but not setting boundaries or time parameters for myself to keep time to myself, you know what I mean? So you're going to do that as well. You're going to learn how to initialize what you're going to start, make a list, do that, and then step back and be able to reflect and have just lovely, thoughtful times. Listen to music, really connecting. Yeah, it's going to be beautiful and very enlightening for you guys, for the beloved group. I love that. Awesome. So if you guys are new, don't forget to press like and subscribe. Press that and press the bell so you'll get your notifications. Yeah, also, I just want to just reiterate that lovely, beautiful thing that the Dutch do about just sitting on a bench. Like, you see them in the park all the time. It's usually elderly people. I don't know why. They just sit on a bench and they look out at the ocean, the other animals, the squirrels. It's so grounds you and reconnects you to earth. And just thinking about that right now, I felt like my whole body relaxed. And it's going to be extremely helpful for you. So let's see what's going on with the Rainmaker. Ooh, this is nice. I like that for the first card because it means, oh, look, you guys have the sun. Hooray. Plans that work out perfectly. Amazing ideas that bring rewards and congratulations. Gratitude for blessings in life. Okay, number one, you guys, how you're starting off and propelling yourself into November, this is fantastic, is you're being super grateful. Your gratitude is exuded out your pores. So what's happening is your frequency is elevating, your manifestations are elevating because you're like, this is a death to the old ways, the negative self-talk, any of the doubts or fear, which do absolutely nothing. You're recognizing that now, and you're like, why the heck would I wake up with the fact that I have to do this, and that to be important, to be worthwhile? What you do to be worthwhile is the fact that you were born, you're here, and you are beautiful living energy that is here to experience the human experience. That's it. You don't have to have $1 million. You don't have to have mansions. Things are just things, you know what I mean? And this is more about the spirit of you. And it's really beautiful because you're starting to feel that more and more. And you're letting go of those old ideas. So again, you're having that beautiful stillness and that centeredness, that groundedness, that connectedness. And I'm going to shuffle these real quick. And it's bringing in complete serenity and peace of mind. And I feel like if you had any old bad habits too, those are going to start to fall away. If you turn to chocolate, junk food, salt, any of those things, that's not going to be your go-to anymore. You're going to start journaling. You're going to start watching videos. Information is healing. Junk food isn't. But sometimes I remember the other day I got upset too, and I don't know, I was just eating Swedish goldfish by the bucket load because I wasn't so much upset as overwhelmed by some stuff, and I was like trying to do too much, and I started eating those, and then I'm like, ew, why don't I feel so great? And I'm like, I don't know, because you just ate your body weight in Swedish food, and I was like, bah, I wanted to die. But we do that, right? Where it's one of those things where it's a distraction. We want distraction from our negative feelings, but we don't even have to have them anymore, and that's what you're realizing. Yeah, look at this, Six of Cups, that everything is fair and equal, that everything is give and take. So if you're not getting equal give and take with people, places, and things, you're departing that. You're dropping it like a hot potato. You don't need to be the person always giving people rides. You don't need to be the person with all the answers for everybody that's always whining and whinging and gloominess, dooming in your face. You don't have to be the person that's always pulled out of a restful state to do things for others. I'm sorry, I have to respectfully decline that. I need a day to read my book, relax, have coffee, and be a normal human being that's not doing constantly. Because you realize in your head, especially Americans, that you have Thanksgiving coming up. It's going to be a holiday time where you get time off work. You're going to be spending it with family, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to be out having such a busy agenda that you can't enjoy your family and your getting together. That way, you're going to be in a really cool, restful, receptive state around your family at the holiday time. Warning shot, and this is, I feel it, this is sometimes why I get anxiety. There is a certain alignment of planets and some things that are going on with retrogrades that are going to make people prone to mass exaggerations that teeter on and even cross the line of untruths. They feel the competitiveness of family and they want to be heard, so they step over that line of exaggeration to flat out lies so they can garner attention. Just realize it is for what it is, that this person really just wants to be in the limelight for just a moment, and instead of calling them out on them and calling them out on it, trying to embarrass them or make them feel silly or shutting them down, simply let them just have their moment, because what will happen with that is they'll get defensive, and what happens when people get defensive and they start to argue, it never goes well, right? Yeah, you've seen it in movies at Thanksgiving, you've seen it in reality in your own kitchen table, right? I know, as an example, when I first went to England for a Christmas dinner, it's not a turn of phrase in England to say, oh, whatever. If you say it with any kind of thing, it sounds like, oh, whatever. I'm guessing, because when Ian's mother came up to the room and I had the kids and I was trying to do a lot, and she just said, oh, Melanie, do you want, I think it was turkey or ham? And I said, whatever, like that, meaning whatever, either one. But she took it as a whatever, like get out of my face. And then I remember going downstairs and she was crying in the kitchen. I'm like, what's happening? And then it's like, so sometimes even if there's a different culture, things are absorbed a different way. So I feel like temperatures are going to be running riot. So what you do, if you want to step back and just observe this, because it might be several family members doing this at once, is to just keep your fair and even keel and just let it be what it's going to be, and let them, let them just have their moment of theatrics, and just let it breeze on by. Because when we start to engage, conflict can arise in defensiveness. So we're just going to let that go. Yeah, you're learning a whole new way to be still, become, so everything can be fair. And I also feel like you guys with the sun, you have some super hot romances coming in terms of just going out socially, meeting people through family, meeting people through friends, and also in business places. I feel like there's going to be little flirtations and crushes and stuff, because you're very magnetic right now towards people. Like they feel very pulled towards you because you feel light, joyous, and free. You're letting go of all this. You're being still, and it's really working well. So that's that group. Very good, you guys. So that was you guys, the Rainmaker. Very nice. I love when people, they move on to the next building block of joyous freedom and enlightenment and connectivity to who they really are. So if you're new, don't forget to press like and subscribe. Press the little bell as well, so you'll get you'll know when the new notifications come up for the new videos. It's really helpful sometimes. Yeah, and all my links are down below for private reads and everything else conceivable down there. The jewelry stores, everything, Patreon. Thank you again, you guys, for your donations. They're so helpful. Even dollar donations for us to get these oracle cards going. Really, really like it. Especially it's my birthday month. I'm super stoked. November 29th. Party hardy. I'm like, yeah, I'll be making videos. Oh no, they can't. Winter's here. Winter, come here. Don't get away from there. Win-win, come here. Yeah, when she goes near camera equipment, there's a lot of stuff there. So let's see what's going on for wind. I love this. I love the sound of the wind. Wind and rain is like so grounding and beautiful to me. Ooh, justice. Nice. Take the time to read the details carefully. You will win in the end. Ooh, for fair and objective decisions. The reason I hold my glasses like that, I'm finding if I put my glasses on and I read for a bit and I take them off, I almost get like crazy vision. I'm gonna have to have my eyes looked at. Wah, you're gonna see me here with the Hubble telescope, like wah. So justice, yeah, I feel a lot of you guys that had court cases, you have child custody battles, property battles, work, things that aren't figured out in work, raises, anything that has to do with HR that you've been waiting for is all coming in your favor. Absolutely. That's really nice. I feel that for sure. And here's why: King of Pentacles, you guys, you can expect some money in November. I hear that very clearly. And this is exactly why your hard work. You have been slugging and chugging away for results, everything, your side hustle, your regular job, your relationships, you've been putting in work, focus, you're expanding, you've been and you've been expecting good things. Yeah, and then with the Seven of Wands, I feel like seven can be a card of like fives, it can be conflict, but Seven of Wands I feel like is more defending your position, and that's what you've had to do, I feel like, in the past, especially with justice coming up. I feel like a lot of people are super opinionated that are around you, and you're just trying to live your life and do your thing, but everybody is always chiming in. Oh, my beautiful baby. Everybody's always chiming in. Everybody's always trying to say, well, there's a bigger, better way. This is this now. And it's distracting as hell to you. You don't need to hear that because you're this now. Through all this exceptional backlash and people chatting and you working so hard, you're finally getting your rewards. And now karma is stepping up and giving you some prizes in the form of some coin. I feel you're also going to be, I just keep hearing elevated. You're going to be elevated integrity wise in other people's eyes. They're going to see you for the hard ass work person that you are, that you just have singular focus to. You care about the finished product and how it looks, and you're not going to cut corners, and you set a very high bar and you keep going. You don't care about the little gnats buzzing around you. You're going to accomplish it. You're going to do it well, and people are noticing now, and you're going to receive money for your ideas and your higher your more discerning behaviors towards this. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a shame, like when you order something from wherever, Amazon or something, and it's a piece of junk. It looks beautiful for what you see, and then it's shoddily made. And as a craftsman that makes jewelry and does these things, it's very important for me that things are done well and they're made to a really high standard. But sometimes you'll get stuff and you're like, do people even care? And you really do, and people are going to notice that, and they're going to sit the hell down, take notice, and they're going to cough up some dough for you. And I feel like you're also going to receive money in this justice matter as well. So you do have money coming. And also, just off the top of my head too, I feel for this group too that you have a karmic soul connection coming in terms of a mate. But that's down the road just a little bit. I am hearing I hear icy cold. I feel like it's February, Valentine's Day, around there, that you have a super strong soul connection coming in, because you're starting to expect it and believe it, and it's starting to manifest in itself and gain energy, and you're doing it more and more every day. You're starting to feel this anticipation, this joy for it, and also you're seeing all the synchronicities that are out there with the numbers, animal behaviors, billboards, license plates, things like that. They're all whirring around, and you're sitting up even more knowing that you should expect and anticipate this. So it's really, that high frequency is driving them towards you, which is really nice. I love that. It is. So that's you guys in the wind. Yeah. What is the wind blowing in? All the nice things. Woohoo! If she was in the Hunger Games, she'd win. She's hilarious. My other cat came in, and they both want to lay on my stomach and talk to me. So they get mad at each other. She usually has reverence for the older one and will let Poots, who is a combination of Puss in Boots, lay there for a little while, but then she's just like, no, that's my stomach, that's my mother, and she'll just come up and she'll run at her like a train, like coming right at her, and the other one's just like, oh, all right, whatever, Winter, because Winter's the queen of the whole wide world. She's a winter queen. Yeah, she did a backflip in her, you see her roll over. When I first went to adopt her, she climbed the side of her cage, used her back legs and pushed off and did a backward flip off the thing. And me and my son looked at each other and were like, did you just see that, or am I tripping out? He's like, no, she totally did a flip. And she did. Okay, so you need to go over there. Good girl. Go lay down. Here's a card. You can have a card for yourself. She loves the cards too. Usually she'll play soccer with that. Let's see what's going on for the journey. Balance. Very cool. So take everyone's input into consideration. Merge the viewpoints to create a better situation. Take your time. There's no need to rush. Super, super important. I believe this 100%. What's going to happen is I feel like you're going to become a mediator. There's going to be a lot of arbitration going on at things at work, in your family. Everybody's going to really want to get their viewpoint across. Remember, I was saying that this, as we approach mid-November, there's an alignment of planets and situations and retrogrades that create a mass exaggeration in people, almost to the point, and in a lot of cases, to just mistruths. They want to be heard so desperately that they're starting to garnish it and turn it into something fantastical just so it'll get some attention that they feel it deserves. So what we want to do when people are doing this is not make them feel foolish, just recognize it for what it is, because we can usually know, right? Especially people that have some intuition, when somebody's not telling the truth, there's a reason for it. They really want attention, or they want their viewpoint to be heard. So we take that in with discernment and love, and we're charitable about what we do with that information, especially you. Yeah, you're much more receptive to oddities and misfits and whacked out behavior, and you're just absorbing it. You're not getting defensive. You don't feel like you have to correct it. You're just sitting back going, okay, this is Looney Tunesville. It happens. That's all right. We're going to gauge on our barometer what's true and what's not. We're going to filter it, and then we're going to come to the right decision. And you have that capability this month. You're like a lie detector. It's awesome. And here's why. 6 of Wands. Oh my God. Oh my God. Everybody's going to be jealous. Nice. Page of Cups. So you guys, yeah, you haven't, this is what's coming for you in November. You got some hot loving, and here's why. You're now a self-contained unit. You don't feel like you need somebody else to be complete. You don't feel like you need somebody else to bring you joy. You have it yourself. However, the pages are a slower moving energy, and it is bringing in that messages that it's about to pop off. You have people looking at you right now from afar, and they want to make an offer. But again, people have strange egos and inferiority complexes, fear of rejection, and they need to come to terms with that and get their own building blocks and elevate before they can approach you. Because they also see you, as a shining example. They see you as a heroic figure in terms of how you deal with everyday life, how you compose yourself, how you speak to others, your balance, your equanimity. You have a very lovely aura, and just you're well informed, so you don't feel like you have to talk all the time. You don't play into the gossip. You don't play into the garbage. And again, you don't call other people out. People feel very safe around you because they feel like you're never going to try to make them feel less than or foolish. You know what I mean? She's going to roll right off the bed. There she goes. Or the table. Yeah, that's phenomenal. And I also feel that you've been waiting for this person, and you're going to know them. The second you see them, you're going to be like, that's the one. That's my man. That's my woman. That's my soul connection. And it is a weird feeling. It's almost like when it happened to me, I felt like somebody punched me in the chest physically. My chest got all tight, and I almost felt paralyzed. So and then you get your shit together, as one does. Especially if it's in a public place. You're like, yeah, you almost feel like you're lightheaded, you're dizzy, but you're euphoric. You feel like you're on drugs. You feel like you're in pain. It is a whole friggin' barrage of craziness. Yeah, that's so cool. You guys, yeah, you're going to have an amazing aptitude to filter information at rapid rates and know what's what and come out on top with the right answers. And yeah, you're going to look like that, and you're going to do some heroic crap at work because of this. People are going to be stuck in their boxes of how they're thinking, and they're going to choke their own creative energy because they're so desperate to find a solution. And when desperation comes in and that's your dominant thought, guess what? All action stops. Nothing gets manifested. You have literally put that thing in a frozen isolation, because when you try too hard, that's why I choke when I try to think of actors' names or drive-bys or booty calls or whatever was going on. Your brain just, yeah, it's so desperate for that you panic yourself, you know what I mean? Then cortisol kicks in, you have all kinds of terrible chemical reactions in your body. But you're very loose and free, you're very accepting of a lot of things, and that's super inviting and warm and welcoming to people, and they love that. So yeah, you're just gonna have oceans of fantastic ideas. And this is the hero card. People are starting to see you as the answer man or woman, and they feel privileged when they're in your sphere and that you're actually speaking to them and spending time with them. And you make people feel important. When you're with them, you are completely listening to them, and you're present, and that's very, very important. So that's amazing, you guys. I love that. I love that. I love that. And I thought we'll end on one little fairy card because I want to read one more. I love these. They top it all off. If you're checking out, just don't forget to press like and subscribe, and press the little bell too so you get the notifications. And all my links are below down for all my lists of times for my readings. The times, prices, all that stuff, and the Etsy store for the jewelry, Patreon page, all that. And I want to thank you guys again for anybody donating towards the Oracle cards. I really appreciate it. In my birthday month, I'm all excited. I already started to write down stuff. Let's see what the fairies want us to know today. I just love this. Sometimes I just read the book to read it. Ooh, Solace. That looks like sun. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, look at that. Look, my hair is looking almost... Oh, Soulless. Wow, let's see what that has to say. She's about to knock over this homopho. 13. Number 13. Soulless. Oh, the sun. I never read this one. It's funny. As soon as I break this book out, I'm not kidding you, something goes down where it's like, oh, Mom, this is in the oven. The girls forgot something. Something goes on. And then I put the book down, and I've never been able to do a complete read on this. So let's see. Soulless. Knowledge, consciousness, synthesis, spiritual empowerment. I especially feel like this is true for 1 and 5. Soulless stands midway between the realm of singers of that and those who manifest reality, the realms of the fairy, this world, and other realms and dimensions. The singers, oh, I love this. The singers dwell in the cosmos without boundaries or differentiations. But we and the fairies live in worlds where there are limitations to overcome and boundaries to identify and expand, which helps us to grow. When we don't know what we need or who to turn to, Solace will help us if we ask. To an Oracle group member, Solace said, allow the surface noise to fade. I'm here waiting. Absolutely right. That's when we have singular focus and we don't care what all the scrabblers and gossipers are doing. We just care about seeking joy and answers, right? Solace encourages us to stand on our own feet and to recognize and utilize our own wisdom, to depend on our own strength and acknowledge and work with our own good qualities, using them as stepping stones to improve the less good. Yet at the same time, Solace recognizes that we cannot do everything alone and helps us to make the connections, to have the insights that will help us to accept wisdom, energy, and assistance from other realms, especially in the realms of the singers and the fairies. Yeah, buku important, right? That we don't have all the answers. Sometimes we think, oh, I should know that. Why should we know so much? Who said we have to know everything? Who said we have to know physics, mathematics, theology, fairy wisdom? You know what I mean? Who knows how to cook? People put so much pressure on themselves to be a million things, and Solace is saying, just be you. Just be the best you. That's the best, right, Winter? Be the best you in bigger world and bigger ways. She attacks Solace. Get him. Boop, boop. She's so sweet. Yeah, so, yeah. Again, once we just, all the rhetoric goes away and the balance and the whimsy and the light come in, right? Whimsy and the light. Yes. Okay, you guys. So thanks again. Have a great weekend. It's the best. Today is the best. Don't you? This is Amber. Is that the coolest or what? It looks so beautiful on camera. So you guys, thank you again for all your liking, subscribing, participating, viewing. You know, all your beautiful comments. I'm so happy, and I'll get to them. I started them this morning, but then I had life just comes up, right? So I adore you guys, and mwah, I can't thank you enough. Have a great weekend.